Hi Sachin.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you all.
Before we start, may I ask you to briefly introduce yourself in terms of your background, your education, research, and your work?
Yeah, so my name is Sachin, and I'm the founder of Condom Gem. It all started actually when I was in school. Yeah, like so much into science and everything, but it was I actually never scored like 99% I was anything because for me it was to like actually explore, like and the like the science teachers they used to love me, but they said you can't come into those special classes like the PhD, the school has to like the toppers for the schools where they take some special classes to increase their score and everything. You can't come into that class because we will ask so many like the off-topic questions that will say waste our time. And then I think they used to stumble on some kind of question like in physics or like the Ohm's law, these kind of things, and they couldn't solve it. So they used to bring in the normal class. No one could solve it. So because I'm not good at very mathematics, like say writing the equation, but I can like feel or say imagine the thing. Like I would say visualize. Like say for example, if there's a wire, then I can't not like I can't do it, but it's like it's really good at imagining the things, like visualizing them because you can say feel it like just because of your perception. And then it was like some kind of say how much will be the resistance if we do the wire like this and that. I said it should be like that. And she said, no, blah, blah, blah. She had done that. I said, you haven't solved it. Let's try it so that way. And it came out to be solved. And she said, okay, now you can come to this question. To be like, because you will not focus on what those special classes are for, are to gain the highest score in this year, but you will keep asking those different questions. Yeah. So now she like, yeah, but you promised me you would ask any those kind of say questions. So that was kind of interest. Like it's to explore. Like say for example, once a pigeon was dead on my room. I let it dry in the sun, and then when it was dry and it was, like only bones were left, I took the bones to the lab.
To see what's going on.
Yeah, so like the bone structure inside, like how they're actually say formed, like because they're light and they're a bit like say strong for that say bird.
I see.
And like I mean, you can also read the books to gain the same kind of information, but it's like to explore.
Yeah.
Like,
So basically, you showed interest for science from an early age.
Yeah.
So yeah, perfect.
Like the exhibitions and everything like that, and they used to actually say fight over me in school, like the teachers, like no, he can't put this, like the experiment in the exhibition is quite say like I would say dangerous, blah blah. They're like no, he will put it. Also, I used to still love it. I used to enjoy it. So it keeps kept say going and going, and sometimes in class like the A levels, like in physics or chemistry, you like say learn like the quantum physics and electricity, like they start, and you start questioning the people who won the Nobel Prize. They're like, all right, he designed it like that, or say imagine the structure of the atom like that. I don't know, but it does. It feels like it should be like that. And we're like, have you done your PhD yet? Like the teacher, I said no, but I don't know. But like your say intuition or your say gut feeling says like there's something wrong about it. Like pursue the PhD. They feel a bit say laugh, like because I'm just a normal student and just imagining things and all that. But I actually used to love it. So yeah, I'm just starting from that level because that's how like it keeps switching. So after the level, I actually wanted to do like the physics, and especially like in the charge and the capacitor sort of way, because the teacher in the physics, like he was really good, like in the whole city, was like the best professor. You know how to actually explain this stuff. He used to actually use the walls, like you know the plugs. So he like draw on the wall. He said like through the wall, the plugs is like you don't go across the wall. Like you know they that kind of say passion to explain this stuff like in really simple manners, so that it like so you don't have to think, you can feel it. Yeah.
Okay, so you got your postgraduate degree in computer science from Oxford Brookes University. How come you have decided to pursue a degree in computer science, and why Oxford Brookes?
Yeah, so after the A levels, sorry. So after the A levels, I actually wanted to go into BSc, like say physics, then like some masters, like become a scientist or something. But then it was the time for like say Google and say Facebook. It was like say 2010 something, and all of the friends were like going into computer science. I was like, and they were like, if you become a scientist, you will earn just this much. You have these big houses, cars, and everything. I was like, oh shit. Can I use some kind of that kind of say language? Like, is that okay?
Yeah, it's podcast, so don't.
So I went into the computer science, like say did the engineering exam, like the entrance exam, got into the college, but I didn't like computer science.
Yeah, really.
Like the coding, the programming part, I don't like it. Like the making the software.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not really great, but it makes me like it's like if we have that kind of say power, it should be able to like say do something intelligent. Not we have to tell the computer like you know write that big software to do something. I said it has to be something really great, and just makes you like not like in a disgust way, but it makes you like you know us in your stomach. You have that kind of say
that feeling,
sick feeling, and like I don't like this programming part and. Like in the first year, you try every branch, like say electronics and physics and everything. I like the physics part, like the. But once I have chosen the degree, have to finish it, pay off for the college. I don't know, say 50,000 and all that. And all right, well, once you are in the computers, then I didn't score so much on the software part, but I did like the computers and networks. So I did my the projects like they have to do the things in the computers and networks, and then I went from like you know the certification CCNA or something like that, and so from computer networks, then I went on to the automation of the computers and networks. That was the, like say next project. So that was like I was feeling a bit more interested. On the rest of the subjects, I just passed.
I see. So you didn't have much interest in all those other subjects.
Like the I used to like the say routers, like the hardware, which is more tangible, but not the software parts. Like say for example, on say when you're writing the script or say like setting up the router, it feels because I'm more about the feeling part, like the perception, and because when you're writing the software, you have to like write the whole software, then you can see some kind of result. On the it's really say live. So on the computer networks, then the automation, then it's industry in the cybersecurity because you always try to Wi-Fi.
I see. Yeah. I mean, it's true.
Like,
it's true. Yeah.
It feels challenging, you know. Like, all right, no one can do it. Let's do it. And sometimes when the speed goes or like there's this some fault, you start thinking, who's using the Wi-Fi? I will cut off his Wi-Fi. Like these kind of like say fun things that led me into like say this kind of thing, because it's in cybersecurity it's more challenging. Like because software is like say building a house. Cybersecurity is like you go to a like a pipe of
Okay, so you
Something
are
like that.
interested in cybersecurity. What do you find fascinating about cybersecurity?
The most fascinating about the cybersecurity is like, say for example, you are sitting here and the other person is sitting there. It's the adrenaline push that you get when you're
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
That's like what fascinates me because I already had chosen the computer science field, so I had to say find something in the computer science that will like give me that kind of say interest, and that's why like I felt like the cybersecurity might be the field that I should say go in because I can't choose the physics now because I have spent like say 4 or 5 years and it will like I had to say on something as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so from the cybersecurity, then I got a job like from a friend's company. Then we came a bit say close, like you say promote, and then
So
just you sit with the person and like I don't know man, like it feels a bit like that, flat line. I'm like I think I should like do a bit more. It's because so it was a time like in 2014 or 15, and at that time like because I was doing the automation and when you're doing the cybersecurity and you're like and then everyone was talking about the AI and all that, like it was the course in your degree as well. And like I still have to like all the softwares and everything. You have to do all the things say manually, and you're like you quite become frustrated. Like, come on, man! Like it's like we have been here for say thousands of years. We have to do something really great, and that's why like so I used to ask my friends who were more into the AI, like why can't we combine like these two things? And they said like yeah, like people are doing the research and everything like in the top institute like the MIT and like IIT back in say, India, but it's not like into core or like say commercialize or something. I said maybe we should do it like because it's also like the things that we are say, doing in the cybersecurity is also kind of say software, like on the programming part. And if we can say combine those things with the AI, then we should also be able to combine those things with the say, AI as well. Like I don't know like how it will say happen, but we should combine it because it will be the future. And they're like, yeah, man, like if you want to do, I thought, okay, I should go for the masters. So I applied in the Brookes because my scores were low because of like the other say subject. So
I see.
I had to write the those the essay, but to explain to them.
It's like a TOEFL exam or some kind of
No, the statement of purpose or something like that.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So I had to explain to them like the whole journey. Like, look, they said then that's why I want to combine. They said, okay, yeah, like so that's fine. And I like Oxford. It's a bit like clean and calm and peaceful. Yeah. Like the other say uni that I wanted to go was the Hrvoje trial, like that could actually give me admission based on this course. But people told me like it's a bit really remote town. That's Oxford. Like let's choose Oxford. I came to Oxford, started doing the degree and everything, and that's when like we started the module with the machine learning. I dropped the machine learning module because all they were teaching was the visual.
So like
the computer vision.
Computer vision,
Yeah. I was like, okay, I have to combine the cybersecurity with the machine learning. They said it's not our problem. Like the professor in the machine learning said it's not my problem.
Yeah.
I said, okay, can you at least guide me somewhere? So then a new professor came in cybersecurity, and his core like research was combining the machine learning with cybersecurity.
Wow, cool.
So I started the dissertation with him, and I did my second assessment. We have to give the presentation to the outside professor. I didn't used to like the professor who did the assessment.
Yeah.
So my dissertation was like, it's like the idea that because I never thought of doing a startup. I was like, because I also applied for the job in the visa, the debit card, and I was like passing, you do the HR interview. They said you do this job. I said, oh no, like like the identity successful management. I said it's not challenging. Like you're not actually say hacking something. That's said if you wanna do, but before you start the job, like it's not like you can't leave the job. It's a contract, so be careful if you wanna join. I said no, and my professor said you are an idiot that you pass on this opportunity to work in that kind of thing. The company's like quite good set for it and everything like that, and because it's kind of like say because it's a large scale set transaction and still switch between the departments. I said, well, I said to the HR, like I don't want to take the job. It's gone. Well, so so I was doing the presentation, and the idea was like create an AI, like the software say platform, and that AI platform will be like really sad ones. I don't know how it will be, but I will like say really advanced and everything. It will run 24/7, really small, for millions of those say machine.
Yeah.
And there will be a plan, and all like the say network say provider will go through those plans. It will say filter it and everything, and then will pass on to the yeah. So the professor said, yeah, like it sounds like a solution because my points of say dissertation was like because say internet is created by the humans.
Yeah.
The cybersecurity problem is created by the human. Any problem that created by the humans can be solved 100% once for all. It's not like say some kind of say nature, like say disaster or something. Then why we are not say doing it? When you do research, it's like it's the market and say economy that if you don't create the problem, you can have like the economy and everything. I said, oh no, right? Like we need to move on to something great. If we like keep just thinking about the say making the economic progress just because of that's a problem. It's we can make something economic progress in some other fields, not just like create the problem. It's like the like in the biotechnology, like or like the biosciences, like you create the viruses, create medicines and all like that. But we need to say move on. We need to go pass on, like say move on to the exploration. Like it's time.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what like say frustrated me. Like we need to say create something and all that. And I did the presentation, and the professor was like, "You should like the best solution will be to make an app for it." I said, "That's the thing. If I make an app for it, the person can actually still hack the phone or the hardware or something. It's actually to protect the people because that's why like it's kind of say planned so that all these networks traffic gets a filter, and it also create a database as well, like so all over the world, like it scans
Right.
the whole internet for any kind of viruses or say malwares. And based on that, it will keep learning like how the new viruses can be created. Like because it's like say for example, because the whole point of cybersecurity is like how you break into a house, like the basic concept, and how you can protect your house against a thief or something is to be two steps ahead of him, like how he thinks, like
Right.
how he thinks, or how human thinks. Then that's when he said how to make an ever. Like I wrote the dissertation, and yeah, then
Right. And how was
so I
can you,
keep taking long. answers.
What can you say? How to protect ourselves, our devices from cyber attacks? What is the best practice for doing that?
Well, I mean, it's like depends. Like if a thief, like say, won't break into a house if he knows like there's something to steal, or like no, it's not say about the effort. So it's depends like how say valuable your data is, or like how valuable your say device is. That's how far you wanna go to protect your say devices. And if it's something say valuable like say your say IP or something like you're say researching something that you can go as much paranoia as you can, like not say connected to the internet or secure your like the hard drives or the SSD, like the storage devices, or like I mean you can use like the software like the normal thing, but or like use the say Linux or something like separate that. But if you still think about it, and if you have something available, you still can get hacked.
Right.
Because it's like if you wanna like if you will create some kind of say lock mechanism, people will be able to say break it at some point. It will be able, like because I'm actually like it will be say difficult and it's about the effort. But say for example, that person has created some kind of side automation or say AI or and it will keep say running it until it's a break.
Right.
Then he doesn't have to do much say effort. It's just the computer is still say running, and at some point you like you will say risk of like say losing your say data. So I think so right now we don't have like we can like keep say locking like keep putting the locks and everything, but still can get taxed. And like say every day we can like say hear about like say more and more data. You can say encrypt your say data, but if you have encrypted, it still can be like crashed or destroyed. So I mean, encryption can say help, but it's more about like say for example, it's like say like the diamond is actually like made from carbon or something. Like after doing the encryption, you converted the diamond into some kind of like say normal carbon form. But what if they like say steal or say destroy the whole say carbon that you had in the storage? Now even if you have some kind of say technology or like say decryption, you can like say but the data is actually so lost. So if the person wants to attack you, like or the like these states sponsor attacks like where if they can't steal your say data, they still like want to like say harm you. They'll still say destroy your say data in another some other form or like something like that. So it's like more. Also, I think it's like more about say detection of the incoming traffic as to what is like the intention of those the instructions that are coming into the computer, and before they are processed by the CPU, if they can be detected by some kind of like say extra say hardware or something, then it can be protected.
I see. And are antivirus software useful for our devices?
In some kind of ways, like you can say protect yourself from cold or something, like putting on the jacket or something, but it's like that. Like it still say protects you, but not like completely. Like say for example, if like say 1,000 of say viruses that can easily say harm you, at least it will like protect you from those say 1,000 like say, the normal things. But if it's kind of some kind of say specific, then of course you can't say healthy, but it's still like precaution,
Right.
so to say. Yeah.
Yes. So you worked as a malware analyst at Cyber Defense Intelligence. Can you talk a bit about your work there?
Yes, like Hustle was for say 1 year, and it was a 6 months training, and then we did some say jobs like the next 6 months and everything. And Hustle was much about like the solving the tickets and everything. Like that's the problem. That's the script. Something is going on, or like you like the web application the vulnerability assessment, everything. So like all this kind of like this small stuff, but I used to enjoy it because it's like every day you start your job, it's a new thing. Like say new ticket and everything, like, and once you solve the tickets and everything, you feel a bit good about it. Yeah. So it's like so it wasn't much on the research. It was much about like the fun. Like it was like, all right, you are earning something and you are enjoying it. And you are like, yeah. And like then I was like, I want to go into like the cybersecurity and everything, like more, because then you're like, if I'm earning say this much, it's like it can't go on like that. So the job was like the vulnerability assessments and everything, and or like the scanning the script, or like say finding the like say malware injection, the instruction set, like if something is wrong. So it was that kind of stuff.
Right. So what is the scariest cyber problem you have ever faced in your career?
Actually, the scariest I always find is the ransomware.
That one. Yeah. So is it hard to solve the ransomware?
No, it's like, because also I don't know like how to solve it, but it's like your whole thing is just gone. And it's like you can't get into the computer, and it's like you feel a bit like you have been a kidnapped or something. So it might like say personal thing that.
Right. And they also ask you money in order to unlock your private data and so on. And have you ever created a computer virus?
No.
Were you interested in doing something like that? Or?
Actually, no. Yeah, I don't know why. But it was like more about like the coming attack and like the defensive thing.
Right.
That I was like, but like say creating something, it always felt like a bit like I don't know, like even if I said like if I could, I wouldn't want to create something else. But it feels a bit like, no man.
Right.
Like it doesn't go with your
with your ethics and everything. Besides your cybersecurity career, you are also interested in intelligent systems and quantum mechanics. So what do you find interesting about those fields?
So this question is going to take a bit so long because it's the shift that has that's happened. So after I did the presentation and everything, and I told my supervisor that look, I'm dropping the station because that's how people are like, especially the academia in this like because I don't know about the other unis, but if that's how people say think, and if I publish my dissertation, it's gonna sit in the library, like it's no use. So then I met. So I was doing a module, some other module, like I actually don't remember, but it was like you get a project from the outsider people, and you say help them get this companies started, like say website building. So you have to like say do it, and because I was doing a part-time job like on the side, and it was like so there was this say one company was like they wanted to create an app, like say for example if your staff doesn't show up, you put it on these app that like there's a ship available, and if anyone has the app, they will just like pick up the ship. Like even if they don't say work for you, if they have those skill set, just like cover for you. They were that kind of app. So like I wanna do this for them because I'm doing a part job, that's a part-time job. So I have it like kind of experience in it. So, but it was it's already full, like for two teams, and the company was something into the construction company, and like I had to do it, and my professor will like just like say start the module, and he will say actually like it because she knows the person like who founded the company, and I was like okay. You have to do the module, and we started doing these meetings, and I like the person, and like because our values, like your core values, they match, and we clicked because when he asked for the question, like that's how he wanna create the website, like not like the LinkedIn, a bit from the Facebook, because he was like I wanna create something like say matching platform, the say website. That's how it should be. And so I was like, okay, I know several you are talking about. What do you mean this? Like on not only technical stuff, but what how is Seven like what he actually wants, and we just keep say bonding over the time period. And when we met in a bus, like the Brookes bus, like going to the Whitley campus, and he started talking about like I see you, and you have like that kind of say characteristics of being an entrepreneur or like a founder. Oh, okay.
Those are nice words to hear.
Yeah. They were like, oh, really? Right. I said, that's when I like got into the startup. So I went to my supervisor. I said, I'm not doing the startup. Like, based on this idea. He said, fine. So the problem was like, how do I get my master's if I don't do the registration? So like after some things, they said, okay, like let's go on, but you have to do the startup and everything. So being like the most official and everything. So they gave me like the postgraduate degree, and then I went to the enterprise support like the department, and then set up the meetings, create the business plan and everything. So it was like the same idea that I put into the registration. So we kept exploring. I did the presentation to the department, and they said like this and everything, and it was like then I had to explore like for like the next months, like when I started like say 2017, like the end of 2017. So like, all right, you have these advanced, like you are talking about like highly advanced AI algorithm based on a really protected like the hardware, so that if like so that the software itself can't get hacked by something, and but what this highly advanced AI based on, I was like, then like your feeling and perception, like your intuition, everything, like they kicks in. Like how does like because you have to go really into deep. Like so, for example, it's not about the cybersecurity. Just think the person who is creating the malware or let's say survivors or want to do some kind of attack, sitting there is a person, how he or she is thinking, like how the thought process is going on, how because it also about the creation, like you're creating something like an artist. So how does the artist think, like how do they create the painting, like how those things goes inside your body. So like then I did single research, like how your psychology works, how your thought process works. Does it depends on the genetics? Does it depends on the neurons? Right? Like, we will design like because you need to train the AI on some kind of say data set. That's from those fields will get the data set so that it can train into like how a person might think something or create something. Like does it depends on the social phenomenon, like for example painter, like the artist, if he's in some kind of say war, his thought process will go in a different way, and how will create the depiction in the painting will be a bit say different when he's in the peaceful environment. So like that, like the social environment, it also affects the creation of like how the hacker is thinking.
Right.
So I really like it was just intuition, and so I was like, all right, that's how we can say train the say data set like from there, from the genetics, like how the actual neurons are still working, not on like the AI part, but on like the biology part, like how does an actual neurons that works. It's not just about the axons and everything, but it's like going more and more deep, like how the proteins are still working. Like we'll go into the like say that time search, like I have like go to say friends in there, then like also I can say go to them and ask them like how these things say works. Then the COVID, the lockdown kicks in, they goes like back to their like screens and safely and everything. I like we're not coming back.
Right.
I like and I was like actually by myself, and then I had to like ask the junior, can I get access to the genetics labs? They said, no, it's closed because the lockdown and only the PhD student can get access. I said, okay, what should I do then? I can't talk to the friends, I can't go to the labs, and so it was all stuff and so that. And then I was like, all right, all I can do. I don't. It's not like Elon Musk inspired me or anything. He used to inspire me, but after some time, like you on your journey, it's changing, and you become your own situation. And but when he was saying like when he started the SpaceX, like he started by himself, like the basic because he had to, and they were like maybe I had to do because I don't have any service options. I don't have any person to help me just because of the lockdown thing. Right. And like, all right, all I can do is sit at home and say study. Then I was like, all right, maybe I should like start going. But then like the actual research started because it was all about like if you want to solve the say cybersecurity problem once for all, it's about like how the person is thinking. If you can get to that part, that problem will take care of it. So it's about like the AI's algorithm. So I started. So I so the research it transferred from like say thinking about what the AI's algorithm more on like how we actually think or create something. Right. And that's when I went into like I started say studying the biology books. So going to more and more say deep like say we say like that's how the brain works. It's like the cells and everything. Going say more into like depth into the cell, like how the genetics is say working, and if when you go more and more deep, so it's like how those protein or say microtubules are like, or like the protein folding problem, like, or like that's the protein folding problem, but why does that protein fall into specific form? Yeah. And sometimes it also fall into like say wrong form, and that's create the disease and something like that. Like why does it happen? So going more and more deep, you go into the molecular cell level, the atomic level. Now it might get say controversial, like the field that we are so jumping in now. Right. Is like I have also heard about Hrvoje, Penrose, and Stuart Sandler sort of thing. Yeah. So my thing is not like completely based on that, but or like the quantum biology or something like that. So it's not like it's still like some kind of exploration, but people like come to the conclusion. But because my point was just about the exploration, like all right, that's not say getting us to anywhere. That's like also it's like say for example you go from like the a classical thing, go deep and deep down to the molecular to the atomic to the electron. the nature is still existing in that form, and it's still say functioning. So we can't say for the superimposition we need like specific say temperature, like the say ultra cold temperature. We do need that if you want that electron to do something according to your will. Right. If it's happening by itself, or like the actual physical existence of nature. But that's what the intelligence you are say looking for, because like you always say keep questioning like how it's also happening by itself. Like I mean we know we are say creating all those things, but you were actually like a creation of something like the evolution. Like if you go like start of the universe and everything, that's what I was like to say. Touching all that, then it's here, and there. That's why only sending is like all those because you know like because uh, it was in the starting of the 2021 they were like all over the place, because like there's a fire inside you that's say burning. Like I want to solve like that problem of the real life intelligence, because if I solve it, because I can't. Like it's your core values. Like I could create say normal algorithm and sell it. Like
Right, I see.
yeah, just the market, but it's like now like it's the word that I gave to the people. Like and if I know that that algorithm won't be able to solve it, or at some point it will break, then I can't launch the that's a algorithm into the market if I know that everyone works 100%, like that the real hardcore problem. I know it's not actually solved just for the sake of say launching something. I don't want to do it. I want to like be going more and more. Like it defines you.
Right.
I actually there was a meeting, like a webinar sort of thing with the vice president of the central bank. I actually told him to follow.
Yeah, really? Why?
Because he kept saying, "Have you seen the Big Bang Theory?" Like when Sheldon and her sister, she tells him that she told her friend that he's a rocket scientist, and he went like, "Rocket scientist? Told me I'm a rocket scientist.
Right.
I'm a theoretical physicist." So he did the same thing as the professor did, like why don't we make an effort, and he made like from the economics point. You're like now it's like let's move on from the economics. Like we have been here for say thousands of years, and we are at a point that we have passed a basic survival stage. Like the times that we are say living in, it's not that say difficult as was like say centuries ago. Like to get say water or food, you have to like go like to do some say hard work. Now we have that kind of say technology. Like we have passed that survival stage. It's time to move on from that stuck like position.
Right.
So I like kept like exploring all over, like kept reading the research paper here and there. I still have those like say bookmarks saved, like the readings and everything, all the books and everything. And that's when I stumble. Now it will get say more and more controversial. But I actually don't say care about like the other people, like how they gonna say. So it's then I stumbled upon like Hrvoje Penrose, like his research and everything, and his first book, The Emperor's New Mind.
Okay, yes, I know.
Yeah.
That's excellent book.
Yeah.
Book, yeah.
I started reading it. I was like, I love it, man.
Right.
I mean, I did care assistant job in healthcare for like say last 2 years. Yesterday was my last day.
Oh, really?
In the healthcare sector. I was like it was kind of say a journey, like to find like your
purpose or something.
Yeah, like it makes you feel a bit like, say, grounded. And I was like, you know what, when he grows more and more say old, and if he come to the cybersecurity home, I will go to that security. And also, so I read his work, and he's like how he's like it was more about his perception. Of course, like he has got something wrong, and he did say apologize for it, like the twister theory and all that. But it's like you try and like just keep figuring out the things, but some of the things it clicked with me, and I kept saying like researching on the like stumbled on like the Stuart's handoff and everything, and I was also studying about the universe, like the cosmos, cosmology, because his work is out from the gravity and all this stuff, and it's about like how the universe started. That's where the intelligence, like the actual intelligence, or I won't say consciousness because it's like it's all like blurred, or like say it's a muddy water, like because it's all about your say vocabulary, what you mean as the consciousness. So we don't want to get into that. So it's about the intelligence, the AI's algorithm we have, as he also says, it's about they're not like us intelligent, they are clever.
Then there's a big difference between being clever and being intelligent.
So so I wanted to like figure out that thing, like bring it out into the world, and that's why I like keep like stumbling about, like you keep say finding your way through the forest or something, and then I was like Stuart's handoff. I was like, okay, he might not like say all of the things, but his the perception on that specific thing. I said, yeah, that thing is right. I don't know about like I don't care about like all the other things he's saying, because on those things he's coming on to some conclusion before the experiment. So I'm not saying he's wrong or right, but I won't like go into that thing. But what he's saying at that specific point is right. That's why, like connecting the dots.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, he's saying that and he's saying that. Then stumble on the next person is I don't know if you have heard about Anirban Bandyopadhyay.
No.
He's a senior scientist in Japan, and he so like when they published the OR theory, it was like because they like when he published his first book, Stuart Sandrock book, he read it, and they published a paper, and people call them crackpot. It's their own word that people call them crackpot in the conference, because they didn't have any data to prove that it's a theory, and it was like say 2005 or something like that period of time. So at the same time that there's a person like in Japan, like there's some NIMS or something like that, National Institute of Material Sciences or something like that. So they created a program and they invited people from all over the world to create the first artificial brain, like actual artificial brain. And they selected like say 23 people from 40 countries. And he was a part of it. So he worked for like 12 to I don't know, say 14 years.
Wow, that's quite a long time.
Because his background was into computer science and physics and AI. At that point, like at that point, he also used to think about like the same way people think in AI, like the neural networks, and if it became more and more say complex and everything, and also it will like create the consciousness because it becomes say complex. So at some point, like as we see in the movies, like all right, the computer has started say programming itself again. Something like will say happen, but like, but when he started doing the experiment, like because his the expertise were on the 2 nanometer scales. So he was doing the experiment like also it's all over on the YouTube, like in the sector and everything, like his talks and everything. Like you can check it, but because these, like say Hrvoje, Penrose and Sachin, they are say theorizing. He wanted to just create the artificial brain because for him it doesn't matter like the consciousness or like say anything like that. He just wanted to like see where the actual sentence is like.
Right.
He kept saying experimenting it. Then Stuart Sandrock met him in Hong Kong. He said that's where Stuart Sandrock told him like that's what we are theorizing, and he was also doing his own study because he's the anesthesia secondary department.
Right.
So he's thought like because he's actually expertise in 2 nanometer and semiconductors are like say 25 or something centimeter. So he will be quite say comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So he asks help from his colleague. So when he started studying the microtubules and everything, but he was still not comfortable at that scale. So he broke the microtubules more and more further and brought them down to his comfort level. That's where I mean I don't know into like say much more core details, but it's about like, for example, how those semiconductors maintain their wave function. So his like it's not like his theory or something, it's his actual experiment and all the data and the research people are like say published. He's saying like his point is like we keep saying about like the wave function collapsing at some point, like that's what you create the classical world. So like we keep creating some more and more theory like how it happens and everything. So his point is like that wave function that we are studying, it actually never collapses. It's like say for example, it's about like say how those two atoms or like the electrons, they how they create their or say maintain their orbital in specific geometry or something.
Yeah.
They're still, it's not collapsed. It's just like, say, for example, you are say touching it or something like that. It's your senses. So you are say feeling it, seeing it with the other senses. It's like all these molecules, proteins, and everything. So it's like all things are interacting with say each other. Then you, I mean, it's all like I actually don't say care because I can say feel it. I'm going into the right direction. So it was like his point is like the wave function. It actually never collapses. Like how we do into the super cool and everything like that to maintain the function of the electron during the experiment.
Yeah.
We may say that if we want that electron to do something on our will, but if it happens by itself, like because say our brains that and everything like those semiconductors are acting similar on because of like the evolution and everything like that, and it all is happening by itself. So it's about like then he found out something about like how the EM waves are affecting those like how those semiconductors they gets activated at specific frequencies. It's still on the computer. They did the experiment like on specific frequencies they get activated and like how those like what are those syllables and everything. And he found out like he went on to the side of like the fractals and everything like that, and the phase prime symmetric. So his research is going into the prime numbers.
I see.
I mean, I know it's like still like into that controversial thing, like the hype and the fractals is like just like the superstition kind of thing. But it's like because my point was like not to believe anything. It's like, all right, this is not getting me anywhere. These people are talking about something and it clicks. Like you can say feel it. Like you still don't like how it will say work or how it actually say work, but you can say feel like it is getting you right into some like getting you out of the forest.
That's it.
Yeah, and then he talked about like because I started say focusing on more on him because his all like papers were based on the experiments, not just the theory, because he had all the data sets. And because of his data set, they published the paper once again in with the same say or theory, but now they had the data and everything like that.
Right.
So they published it in 2013 or 14. That's when people thought, all right, you're not careful anymore, because now they had the data. So he actually they have actually created the brain journey, like the artificial brain, and so I mean I can't go like at the because it goes more and more long, but they have created the resonators of set to 15 prime numbers. And like if you go into the psychology or like the scenaриology, because I don't remember the name of the scientist, but he like theorized or like say published that, for example, like say this part of the brain or something like that, like if you count like the cell layers, it's like say 7, 5, 3, like these kind of cell numbers, like that's how your cell brain is structured, and it gives you 47% of the consciousness, like the whole universe. Our brain can capture like say 47% of the consciousness, and gives you that kind of intelligence to like survive and to secure into things. So they have been able to like actually like say make those resonators up to 15 prime numbers. So they are still making it. I actually had a call with them. Yeah. I contacted him on LinkedIn. I said, "This is my startup," and then he said, "Oh, do you know talk?" I said, "Yeah." Then he gave me his cell number, and he was actually jogging. He like because I could hear the sounds. Like he said I was coming and say cooking something. So that's the only time I can actually talk to you. And but he did said something really good. He said, "I have spent decades to explore this thing. As the new generation, it's your responsibility to carry it on, because mine was like, can you help me to build something based on your like discovery?" He said, "It doesn't matter. As the human, you should explore more, like go deep down more, because I'm becoming old now. It's like say something in 40s or something." So I said, "You shouldn't like just like do something based on his discovery." He said that's how much he could do, like because how much he knew to make those resonator in some way could only do till 15 primes. Because that's how old the technology was back then. This time, so he said you should go more. I said you feel a bit like the man is saying it, but he did say like, look, like it's fine, like when you need help and everything, you can like call me anytime, but I won't be doing any selfish work because of the conflict within the governments. I see. Yeah, but he said like then I kept like say reading his paper, and I actually feel like the idea of like I know it's like quite say controversial, like, but you still find some people talk about it, publishing the research paper, like factors, prime numbers, and everything. And it's not like it's some kind of say divine thing that's gonna solve everything, but it's like you explore like how the nature is existing, like how a virus is able to like copy itself, and how it able to exist, or how and the atom at the start of the universe it wants to exist. Right. Like it's existing. Like what's making it? Like going from the religious perspective, like it's still like from the energy phase, it coming into a physical existence, like wave functional or something like that. It's existing. So it was like to find what making it exist. Like, so that's where, because he didn't like say theorize that sometimes say prime. He just read those say data, because he could see those peaks. Like say for example, there were like say 3 peaks in the semi-50 was 3, and when you go more down on, let's say, one of the three, you will see another three, and then it was like so many things that were like say 11, 7, like it's all on the like his tutorials and his like say talks and everything, like the actual conferences, not like just the normal talks, and then he can explain like that's how he did the experiment. You can also do it, and it's not like that kind of say complex like setups. It's also normal, like in any uni or any like the issue, you can do those experiments by yourself. It's just like where you want to see, like where do you want to look
I see.
to find that kind of intelligence. And it's not like we have say found the consciousness, but it's like that's where we are say looking into, and it's actually showing up, and it's they're still say working on it, and then I think they're gonna like say launch it like in the next decade. They want to create that kind of say human form.
Yeah.
And they're like say videos of their say lives and everything. Yeah. And they are more into say vibration, like EM waves and like the phase prime symmetry and everything. And sorry, but
yeah,
I like their point. And it's like the founder me who wanna give something back to the world, like produce something, and I don't wanna give it like I wanna give a real solid thing,
right?
Like giving you the apple.
Yeah, I mean that was really amazing story, and
So,
thank you
sorry,
for sharing with us.
sorry, it took long.
No, it's fine. Will quantum computers break RSA encryption?
Yeah.
Yeah. You mean how long will them take to do that?
I don't know about like I mean still because it depends all on the things like the errors and everything, and like how many qubits say have. But of course, like it will still be able to break it. Maybe, I don't know, could be hours, could be days, but definitely, yeah.
Right. And who is the greatest hacker of all time?
Oh, like how do you mean? Like in kind of a technological way, or in kind of like?
Well, in terms of who is the most famous one and who did the most damage to the world.
Oh, I don't know like how much like who did the most damage. I don't know.
But who is the most famous hacker?
The people I actually say like, of course, like Snowden or like the WikiLeaks and everything, because it's not like it's like using your skills to do something like to challenge the society, to challenge the status quo. That's like to shake the tree. And believe me, I'm like I haven't like doing the counseling, like the therapies and everything. I also been working on myself. Yeah. And I will always like say to my counselor, like I'm always like I'm all about like shaking that say tree, because I don't know, it just like makes who you are. Yeah, like you're finding your why. Simon said it. Just like found my say why. Like that. Like you start with why, you find why, like what makes you you. Yeah, so it's like that's what. But that's why I say like that, because they challenge it. They just wanna like go, not going to the sheep sort of mentality. So that's why I like them.
Sachin, thank you so much for this conversation.
I'm sorry.
It was no. Yeah. And thank you for all the stories you told us. I mean, it was really interesting, and hopefully this is just the first time we speak, and there will be plenty of opportunities in future.